Wednesday morning, the communities of Brandon and Evansville didn't look any different than the day before, but something is different. After decades of partnerships, combined activities, and classes, voters from both communities have chosen to consolidate the two school districts.
About 25 years ago, my husband was on the Evansville School Board, and at that time they were trying to do some work. The school boards were trying to do some work towards consolidation, and I would have to say that probably at that point in time there was about a 95% of the people were opposed. So over the years, with everything that the school's done together, it's been a great change, and we're really excited about it.
Public opinion in Evansville has changed so much that Tuesday's consolidation measure was approved by nearly 94%. In Brandon, it was not as much of a landfall victory. About 62% of the voters favored the measure. But what will change because of the vote? Superintendent of Schools Mark Westby says for the most part, the changes will not be as visible to the public, but rather it will streamline how the administration runs the schools.
Oh, I think the biggest thing, at least for the operation of the district, will be not having to worry about which pot of money you're spending out of, or that sort of thing. It's you don't have to sit down and say, is that an Evansville expense, or is that a Brandon expense, or is that a shared expense? It's an expense at this point in time. It'll just be that much cleaner.
Since 1983, the schools began combining in sports. Eventually, more classes were combined, and more sports teams found themselves made up of Brandon and Evansville kids. To this past school year, when everything was combined except for graduation ceremonies and school boards.
This past year was the first year that they combined the classes. And they combined 6th through 12th grade, and 6th through 8th grade was held here in Evansville, and 9th through 12th was in Brandon, and each school maintained its grade school. And it was a very successful, very successful. The kids were very happy with it, and I think it went very smoothly for our first year.
The students do seem to like it, but the biggest area of disharmony revolves around how the decision affects taxpayers. Until 2016, Brandon residents' taxes will increase slightly, while Evansville's residents' taxes will decrease to offset the difference in levy amounts between the two school districts. Once the canvassing board approves the vote and the Department of Ed is notified, it is likely that as soon as July 1st, the consolidation will be official. Since classes and sports are already combined, no staffing changes are needed. The two school boards, however, will be tapered down to one board over the next 3 years. The state will provide $150,000 to the new district to help with transition costs, such as signage, busing, and the like. No longer will there be 2 graduation ceremonies each year, but rather 1. And the newly consolidated school district gets a new number. Come Monday, Brandon Evansville will officially be School District 2908. For the Voice of Alexandria, I'm Joe Krakowski.